Hello and welcome into this edition of RNN News right here on Racing News Now. As always, I'm your host Garth Allen. Thank you once again for joining me today. If this is your first time catching a Racing News Now video, consider going down below and hitting that subscribe button and ringing the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. And first off, happy Thanksgiving. This video is going out on Thanksgiving Day. So happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. And if you have seen the title, you know what this video is about. ARCA released their 2019 schedule yesterday, actually. Didn't have time to get to this yesterday, so getting to this as quickly as possible. But there are some notable changes to talk about in this schedule, so let's flash it up on the screen right now. The 20 races for the ARCA Racing Series in 2019 across 18 tracks in 13 different states. Daytona stays on the same weekend that it has up to this point. It is the first weekend of Speed Weeks there in conjunction with the Clash for the Cup Series, Daytona 500 qualifying, all of that. So it will be that first weekend of Speed Weeks as it traditionally has been. Five Flag Speedway, as was previously announced a few weeks ago, actually the weekend of the Kansas race at the end of the season, has been added to the schedule, and it kind of plugs that early season hole in the schedule that they have had in recent years. There's been about a 2-month gap between Daytona and the next race on the schedule recently, so Five Flags kind of plugs that. It's there exactly a month after the Daytona race on March 9th, and just over a month before the third race of the season, April 14th at Salem, which is actually bumped up 1 week from where it was in 2018. Salem ran on April 22nd in 2018. So then they moved to Talladega for the fourth race of the season, April 26th. That stays the same as it has been, which isn't surprising because that's a race in conjunction with NASCAR. Fairgrounds Speedway in Nashville has been bumped back to May 4th. Not all that surprising. If you were someone like I was that was at Nashville this year, that was an extremely cold race. Even some snow flurries flying about, which I did not expect in April in Nashville, but that was the case. So I'm assuming, I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming that's the reason this race was pushed back, to try and keep that from happening again, which I think is a smart move on ARCA and Track Enterprises' part. Toledo Speedway, the 77th visit to Toledo Speedway on May 19th. That is the same weekend as it has been in the past. Charlotte on May 23rd. Pocono, the first of 2 visits to Pocono, as has been the tradition, will be May 31st. No real changes here throughout this summer stretch. So we've got Michigan on April 7th, on June 7th, Madison on June 14th, Gateway June 22nd, Chicago June 27th. Again, no real changes through here, basically the same weekends and everything as it was in 2018. Elko on July 13th. July 19th will be the Iowa Speedway race. Pocono on July 26th. And then the 2 dirt races for the season. No change to the Illinois State Fairgrounds dirt track race on August 18th, which is not surprising since that is an event at the Illinois State Fair. I want to try to keep that within the fair, I'm sure. Then August 31st, Labor Day weekend, DuQuoin State Fairgrounds, the second dirt track race of the season, still on Labor Day weekend, but with a major change this year. August 31st is Saturday of Labor Day weekend in 2019. It will be a Saturday night dirt track race at DuQuoin. I'm excited about this one for multiple reasons. One, because this on Labor Day in the middle of the afternoon was an extremely hot race in 2018. We had a lot of extremes in temperature in 2018 at ARCA races, but I'm excited for cooler temperatures at night. It's going to make the racing much better, cooler track, faster cars. I think that will only make the race at DuQuoin better in 2019. Then we move to the final 3 races of the season. Salem Speedway on September 14th. That race has not changed from its previous weekend, the Fall Classic weekend. Lucas Oil Raceway, Indianapolis Raceway Park, whatever you call it, October 5th has been bumped back about a month to the weekend that it was actually rain delayed into in 2018. I'm assuming that weekend just kind of works better for everybody involved, and they're hoping the weather's a little better that weekend. My worry with that is we did have rain that day when it was rained back into that second date in 2018. I'm just hoping that we don't have that, because there's not a lot of window to push it back at that point, now that you've got it all the way back into October and only a couple of weeks before the season finale at Kansas. So I hope that works out for them. I'm cautiously optimistic of that change. I'm just a little bit worried that, being from Indiana, I know what the weather is like that time of year here in Indiana, and I'm a little worried that that change may not be for the better weather-wise. Like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic, and hopefully it works out, but I'm a little worried that they didn't give themselves a lot of room to rain delay this race if they need to. And then, of course, as mentioned, the season finale at Kansas Speedway, October 18th, as has traditionally been the season finale for the ARCA Racing Series, under lights at Kansas Speedway on Friday night with the NASCAR Xfinity Series and the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. Alright, so that is the 2019 ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards schedule. Let us know what you think of it. The one big omission here, if you haven't noticed it, there's no Berlin Raceway up in just outside of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Five Flag Speedway, their date has more or less replaced Berlin on the 2019 schedule. So Berlin is out, Five Flags is in. So let us know down in the comments, what do you think of the 2019 ARCA schedule? A few changes, a few date changes, one notable addition in Five Flags, one notable omission in Berlin. So let us know what you think down in the comments of this 2019 ARCA schedule. Are you excited for the 2019 ARCA Racing Series? I know I'm excited for it. Are you excited for it as well? Going to be some great things happening in the ARCA Racing Series this season for sure. But I think that'll do it for today's RNN News. If you haven't done it already, go down below, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. And while you're down there, hit that big thumbs up button if you like the video. It's much appreciated when you do. So with that, this has been an RNN News Break. I'm Garth Allen for Racing News Now.